Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. If you're new, hi, this is another video. What is that? 1 minute. Yeah, that was my TV screen, but my TV screen wasn't flickering, but it was flickering in the reflection in the mirror in the camera. So well, that was a interesting introduction. So today I'm going to be talking to you about what is an Inn of Court. So first you have to actually choose your inn. There are 4 Inns of Court in the UK, and those are Gray's Inn, Lincoln's Inn, Middle Temple and Inner Temple. They're all very old, very prestigious, and yeah, there's only 4 of them and they're all in London. Inner Temple and Middle Temple are the oldest, dating back to 1320, but they were, so they were originally one inn, but then they were split up in 1347 and then 1346, when they were like, after they split up, they were established in those years, so those 2 are the oldest, but 1320 is when the original Inn of Court came about. Then you've got the largest inn, which is Lincoln's Inn, dates back to 1422, and then the smallest inn, which is Gray's Inn, which is 1569, so that's the newest one and also the oldest. It's the newest one and also the smallest one. They used to provide all the education, so all of the bar, you wouldn't have done it from a separate institution like you do now. They would have done all of your education for you, but they no longer do that. But they do supply what is called the qualifying sessions, which are kind of like, well, you need to pass 12, it's either 11 or 12 qualifying sessions to be able to become a barrister. There's like formal dinners, seminars, talks, all that sort of thing. And yeah, the inn has, each of them have libraries, some of them have extras like a bar, like Gray's Inn has a bar. There is the walks at Gray's Inn, which is a really nice private garden. I think it's London's largest private garden. If I'm wrong, I will correct it here, but I'm pretty sure it's London's biggest private garden. And they're basically a place for you to socialise, and also, as I said, use the libraries, meet and network with barristers, especially if you're a student barrister, so you're studying the bar, then it is kind of vital that you do that networking, so you make friends with the right people and all of that jazz. So all prospective bar school students must be a member of one of these 4 inns, and it's 12 qualifying sessions, not 11, 12. Before being able to be called to the bar. The Inns of Court are the only institutions in the country that are able and legally allowed to call you to the bar, which means to be called to the bar is to become a lawyer. It's kind of like a graduation ceremony. Just like the Oxbridge applications, if you didn't know, Oxbridge is Cambridge and Oxford, the 2 most prestigious universities in the country. You're not allowed to apply to both of them. You have to pick one and apply for one and just hope you get in. Similar to the Inns of Court, you are not allowed to apply to more than one. You have to pick one and you have to apply to the one you want. Which was, I think that was the most difficult part of the application for me, was actually choosing which Inn of Court to go for, because they all have different, they're all very, very similar, but they do have certain different aspects that kind of give you the atmosphere, an idea of the atmosphere that they hold. So as I said, the 4 inns are located in London, all near each other. The western boundary in the City of London. They're right next to the Royal Courts of Justice, which were actually moved for convenience from Westminster Hall to be next to these Inns of Court. This was in 1882. So not recent, but the Royal Courts were not near the Inns of Court, and then they were moved so that it was easier for student barristers and barristers in general to get to those Royal Courts of Justice. Obviously there are other courts in London, other courts around the country. You might not necessarily be practicing in London, but your Inn of Court is obviously in the capital city of the country. Each inn has a great hall, a chapel, libraries, sets of chambers for hundreds of barristers, gardens and covers several acres each. So these are large, even the smallest one, Gray's Inn, has to accommodate for different barristers and a lot of barristers. Obviously not every single barrister part of that inn is going to be there at once, but it still has to accommodate for a lot of people at one time. There are limited residencies in each inn. Some have more residencies than others. This is a newer, I say newer, it's past 100 years, I believe, maybe even older than that, that they have residencies for some of these student barristers, just so it's easier for them. Quite extortionate. It's still London prices, but it's just only members of the inn can obviously stay there. So some of them do have, I think they all have residencies, some of them have more residencies than others. The range of application fees are from £100 to £120, depending on the inn of which you choose. That could be a deciding factor for you. It can only be paid by cheque, banker's draft or postal order. There is no bank to bank or cash. This to me is a very, very old-fashioned way of doing things, and something that I believe the inns need to update, but it's the way they're doing things because no one has checks anymore, and it's just quite awkward to get to a bank or a postal order. But with the current climate, they're not accepting checks or money at the moment for your application, which is good for me. Obviously they will accept it at some point, but with the current climate, they're not accepting any post at the moment. Normally you'd have to send it by post, but they're not accepting post due to COVID-19, so they are getting you to do it all via email. But I'm going to cover what an application needs in another video. But I hope that kind of covers what an inn is for you guys. So basically, to sum up, it's a place which members of the bar, or it's a place which calls you to the bar. It's a place you are a member for life once you have joined. It's a place to socialise, do your qualifying sessions, get any law books you require, i.e. in their libraries. As I said, socialise with other barristers, whether that be newer ones, students, or older veteran ones. You cover your seminars. There are societies within the inns. Not a lot, because you're not really there to have the university experience again. You're there to study law, you're there to have a law career. But there's a couple of sports teams, and Gray's Inn do a Christmas play or pantomime every year, and there's LGBTQ societies, there's football societies, there's some religious societies in a couple of them. But yeah, so there's societies for more socialisation. Parts of the inn. But yeah, it's mainly a place for your qualifying sessions, and as I said, to socialise with other barristers, and some of them have mentoring schemes, which again may help you choose which inn of court to apply to. A couple of them have mentoring schemes, which means you'll get an older, wiser barrister if you're a student, and they'll kind of take you through the ropes, they'll answer any questions, and they'll basically help you become the best lawyer you can be. And that's what they're there for. They're there for like a lawyer's community. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below. It will be greatly appreciated. Hit the big red subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. I do LGBTQ+ and law videos mainly, and follow my other channel down below. It's a joint channel where I do all my cosplay stuff, and all my social media will be linked down below, and I'll catch you guys in the video. Bye bye. You know I kinda want to disappear with you, but I don't think that is what I